This Easter, in our Armenian Church tradition, all of Holy Week we have services. There's different services for different occasions. We even have a feet washing. But Holy Wednesday, the Wednesday before Easter, is an open day. And this year I challenged our youth group. I said, I'm giving it to you. You write the service. You know, everybody, what does that mean? You know, do we have to do these prayers, bum, 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 you know, very Armenian Church oriented, you know, 1, 2, 3. No, I said, it's up to you. You write it. So it was interesting because the young people, they were so conditioned by their parents that this is not their job. This is the priest should be doing this. Finally, we overcame all that. They sat down, and for 3 weeks they put together a service that I wasn't even a part of. I didn't even go to their meetings. So come Wednesday, I'm expecting them and maybe their parents. The church filled. It filled with immigrants. It filled with older people, young people. We had about 300, 350 people there. So I'm a little apprehensive. What are these kids going to do? But I stayed back. They got up. They started off with the traditional prayer of the Armenian Church, brought in some guitars and tambourine and drum, and played one of our Armenian hymns with a little beat, which was very nice. But they gave a sermon about what Holy Week was about, the crucifixion, resurrection. Then they brought up with these 2 2x4s in the shape of a cross. They put it up there. And they invited people to come up and they gave each person a piece of paper, and they said, write down whatever problems you have, whatever you'd like, and turn them over to Christ. Nail them to the cross. Very visual. And as the people were doing this, they started to sing a hymn and a little jazzed up beat. It was nice. I expected maybe 5, 6 people. I expected the young people. But would you believe that this cross took about a half an hour? Everybody, old, young, came up to that cross and nailed something on that cross. I was astonished to the point where I thought this was going to be a young person's thing. Everybody got into it. And it made me realize that this is what people want. They want an opportunity to be a part of Christianity, of resurrection, of crucifixion. And so I was the last person because I held back when I saw that. And at that point I was moved. I took my piece of paper and wrote only one thing on it. I wrote Armenian Church, and I nailed it to the cross. In other words, at that point I realized that we worry too much about the church. It's not our business. It's God's church. Turn it over to Him. You do the best you can in this world. Let God deal with His church. It's His body, right? He's going to take care of it. And I think it was an eye-opener for me, that something that the kids really taught me that day, that we get so caught up in thinking that, oh, I'm a priest, I'm a bishop, I'm an elder, I'm going to do this or that in the church. It's God's church. There's just so much you can do. Take care of what you got, love the people that you know, and everything else will fall into place.
That's great. Is that cross still
It's
here?
right inside, yeah.
Great.
Good.
Okay.
How many do you think are on there?
They're layered. They're I don't know. I'd say there's a few hundred on here.
Have you gone through and read what?
No, I thought about it at some time. I figured that's not really my place. There's some of them that are just open, so you could read through them in Armenian. For a specific purpose, for a gentleman named Haig, for health and wisdom. Lord, give me patience over here. I wish good health to everyone. That's more of a general. God, please help us from all of our troubles. Help my friends. Yeah, there's, like I said, because it was just like so many different people. I never expected the people who are more traditional, Armenian-speaking people, to really get into this, but they did. You could see the number of writings. They kind of overlapped. And I imagine there were better places to be on this cross. Like, probably there was people who didn't really care to be at the bottom. They wanted to be up at the top, you know, there's like things. Ah, there's the top one. The top one got love, unity, success. Wow. Guess what is it? Love, unity, and success. And then for his or her father-in-law, health for the father-in-law. In these places. All right.
Yeah, why don't you just walk me through this, because really an eclectic group here.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, I guess, for a designer. Start off with this one. This is the one that I took, college days. I called it Einstein's dream, the idea of being able to hold the universe in your hand, or to be able to somehow hold the sun. Here in Armenia at seminary, one of the collapsed, dilapidated churches that was covered in snow, that was a training ground for the Soviet Winter Olympics team. This is the view outside of my window. Every morning I'd get to see Ararat for 1 year, right there in Armenia. So this is a piece of Salvador Dali, one of my favorites that he's done. I particularly like this one because you have the child here holding the orb, holding the book, rather than holding him up, just kind of letting go, and they're floating up to him. But even greater is the bread that's within him, the bread of life. That's of course that's my interpretation. But within him, the cubism.
Very non-traditional representation, right? How did you decide to put that one front and center on your wall?
Oh, this speaks to you. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much going on in here. All of Salvador Dali's images. Look at these. I mean, just these planes and the cubism, the idea of the egg coming down. It's wild. It goes against tradition. And anybody could put up a traditional picture. This one my cousin did. When he saw that, he's from Armenia. He says, "Oh, you got to see some of the stuff that I did." And he actually did these two. But this one, I particularly like. He calls this hope, huis, flowering out. And then if you look at it from the back, you see a bigger picture with the eyes and the nose and the mouth. But it's a woman being reborn. From the soil of Armenia. Actually, in the next one, you'll see a little more. This one, this is from Artsakh. This is an interesting one, too, from Qarabakh, the Armenian name for that region. A gentleman, one of the Fedayis. My degree's from USC. Makes me legit. This is the Catholicos Vazken, who I was named after. In our tradition, we get a name when we're ordained as a priest. We get a new name. So I had an opportunity to meet him on a couple of occasions when I was a younger kid. This is when we were the lackeys over in Armenia. As seminarians, they'd have us climb the roofs and clean up any of the weeds that were inside the mortars. So we did all the dangerous work over there. This is a gontad. It's a pontifical proclamation. It was given when we completed this a church up in San Jose. This is my old neighborhood, Silicon Valley. A lot of stuff from Armenia. This is a gentleman here in Glendale. He's done that and gave that to me. Just a lot of neat stuff. This is my little family here, the Jack in the Box. I like those because it's very simple. They say one simple message. Smile. There's not much else you have to think about, right?
Right.
That's it. They smile all the time. They don't bother you.